tabletop. Just bring the knees into the hips, hands under the shoulders, taking the fingers wide, and just begin to sway the hips side to side. Just feeling into the body, taking a moment to tune into the moment. Noticing how you're gripping the ground underneath the hands, the knees underneath the ground, and maybe begin to slightly push into the tops of the feet, so pressing the feet into the ground. As we sway side to side, you might like to make the movement a little bit more as we move into the neck, maybe making more of a C shape in the spine as we rock side to side. Just keeping it gentle to begin with as we're coming straight into our practice. Lovely. And then finding your way into neutral. We're going to inhale to reach the right arm up, take a nice open twist, and then exhale, threading the arm underneath, bringing the right ear down. Taking one deep breath here. And on your next inhale, let's come back up into neutral. Good, one more on the other side. So inhale, thread the needle, sweeping the left arm up, open, twist. And exhale, slowly sweep it under, bring your left ear down. Draw shoulders away from the ears, pressing both hands into the ground. Good, and inhale, come back up to center. From here, we'll do a few rounds of cat-cow. So let's inhale to lift up the chest, press down into the heel of the palms, press into the top of the feet, so I make it a bit stronger in our legs. And exhale, rounding through the spine, draw navel in and up. Good. Continue to move with the breath, take it at your own pace. Notice how the spine and the back in general is feeling today. We'll do two more, so 4 cat-cows in total. Good, and then when you've finished your 4 rounds, just finding a neutral, leveling off the spine. We're going to tuck the toes under now, begin to sit the hips back over the ankles, so we'll stretch into the toes a little. Drop in the head, we'll just lift off the knees a bit, so we're stretching into the feet a little bit more. Begin to really grip down into the hands. And then slowly lifting up the hips, straighten the legs, coming into your first down dog and releasing one heel down at a time. And maybe begin to pedal out here. Notice how you're holding your body, so the shoulders close to the ears. How's the head hanging? Maybe give it a little wobble, a little shake out. How's the back, the hips, the legs feeling this morning or today? Good. And then settling in stillness, whatever that looks like for you today. You might want to bend the knees. It's okay if the heels don't touch down. And just finding the breath here. We're going to do 1 round of lion's breath. So lion's breath is when we breathe in through the nose and we take a big exhale, but we breathe out the mouth and stick the tongue out. So it's really nice to do in down dog because no one can see you looking silly. So on the next inhale, let's take a big breath in and a big exhale out the mouth. Good. We're then going to begin to slowly walk the feet towards the hands, taking the feet under the hips. Bend the knees, exhale forward, fold, Uttanasana, relax the head, neck and shoulders. If you want to, grab the elbows, take a little sway side to side. So lion's breath is a really nice, empowering breath. It kind of acts as though it's dusting off the cobwebs, releasing stress, releasing tension, but it also gives us a sense of energy too. So we're going to do a few of those during the practice today. Good, let's release the arms, allow them to hang heavy, bend the knees, roll up through the spine nice and slowly, bringing the head up last. Finding your way into Tadasana, roll shoulders back and down. Nice and long in the spine, lengthen up through the crown of the head, maybe draw the chin down and the head back slightly. So we've got a nice stacking sensation in the body. And then we're going to come through 3 rounds of vinyasa, taking the progression as we go along if you wish to, otherwise staying at the first variation. So let's inhale, reach up, and exhale, hinge from the hips. Come into Uttanasana. Inhale, wave length. Come into half lift, hands on the shins or fingertips down. Then bend the knees, bring the hands down. Let's step back into plank for our first round. Drawing the shoulders back, nice and strong in the plank pose. Actively press the ground away from you, draw navel in. And then lowering knees, chest and chin down. And then draw the body forwards as we soften our tummy onto the ground. Coming into baby cobra, let's lift up the chest, press into the top of the feet. Draw the chin in, so we get a little bit of a stretch in the back of the neck. And take the hands away from ground. Good, exhale, release back to the earth. Tuck the toes under, pushing the hips back over ankles, and then lifting back into down dog. From here, we're going to step, jump or hop back to the top of the mat. Exhale, take your forward fold. And inhale, rise up with the breath, ground down through the feet, and then reaching the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. So if you want to stick with that version, please do. Otherwise, we're going to level it up a little bit here. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, hinge from the hips. Come down into Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Use the abdominals here to keep you lifted. And exhale, fold. Bend the knees, bring the hands firmly to the earth and jump or step back into plank. Trying to land lightly if you're jumping. Press into the heels, feel nice and strong in your plank. And then lower the knees down, untuck the toes. We'll come into baby chaturanga if you want to. Draw elbows in and back as you lower down with control. So no belly flopping or snaking your way down. And then inhale, either baby cobra, so a little bit of a lift in the chest, or begin to press into the hands, coming into full cobra, Bhujangasana. Draw shoulders away from the ears. Tuck the chin in slightly, lengthen up through the crown of the head. And then tucking the toes under, and we'll lift up into down dog. Good, taking a full breath in and out here. And then coming higher into your tiptoes, bend the knees, we step, jump or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift your hips. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rising up with the breath. Nice, strong gesture here. And exhale, hands to heart. Third and final round. Inhale. And exhale, release. So this will be our harder version if you wish to take it. Inhale, lift up the chest halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, release. Bend the knees, step, jump or hop back into plank. So this time, if you want to, if you feel you're up for it, then we're going to go down into our full Chaturanga. Otherwise, knees, chest, chin, or baby Chaturanga. All the way down. And then inhale, either baby cobra, full cobra, or we're going to come into up dog. So we firm up through the thighs, the glutes, press the hands down, so we lift the body up, draw shoulders back. Okay. Either lowering back down onto the belly, and we're going to add a press up in, or coming straight into down dog. If you're adding a press up in, bringing the hands to the sides of the chest, tuck the toes under, gaze to the ground, so full head's on the ground, and then power through into plank and then into down dog. Taking a full breath here. And then come onto your tiptoes, bend the knees, step, jump or hop forwards. Inhale, lift your hips. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rising up with the breath. And exhale, hands to heart. Lovely. Just taking a moment to close the eyes, grind down through the feet, soften the shoulders, notice how the body feels. Remember to listen in and be kind to yourselves and do as much or as little as you wish to. Okay, so we're going to come into our first round of sequence. So from here we're going to start with our tree pose. So we'll rock up onto the toes first, so lift up the heels, really firm up through the legs. Slowly taking the heels down and then leaning back into the heels, just lifting up the toes. So we're waking up the whole foot connection with the earth. Then settling the feet back down, spread the toes wide. Good. Fixing your gaze on something still. This is our dristi. And then taking the weight into your left foot, right knee picks up, drawing the right knee out to the side, and then finding your way into tree pose. So whether you want your foot at your ankle, a little bit higher, or maybe all the way up into the inner thigh. Once you're in your tree pose, think about lengthening that through the crown of the head, actively drawing your right knee out, so it's a little bit of activation in the right glute here. Tucking the tailbone under will switch your abdominals on a bit more, so protect your lower back a bit more, and keep shoulders soft. Keep face soft. Find a steady, calming breath. Good. Slowly, we're going to lift the right knee and bring it forwards. From here, we're going to step the right foot back into high lunge. We're going to inhale to reach up, keeping the palms together here. And then exhale, slowly bringing that back knee down to touch the ground. And tuck the toe here, sinking the hips down. Good, and then we're going to reach the right hand down, taking it to the ground and opening the chest to the left. So we come into a low lunge twist. Really lifting out of the right shoulder, drawing the shoulder away from the ears. One more breath here. And then pivoting the chest to face the front of the mat. So we're coming out of our low lunge, reach the right arm back up. Good, we're going to back the pelvis off, tuck the back toe in and slowly rise back into high lunge. Relax the shoulders. Good. From here, we're going to exhale, drop our right heel down, open up into our warrior two, reaching the arms out shoulder height. Sink the hips down. Shoulders away from the ears. And then coming into our extended angle pose, Parsvottanasana, reaching forwards, taking your left forearm to the thigh and reaching your right arm up and over. We want to draw our right shoulder back to open up through the chest, really ground down through the outer edge of right foot. Depending what feels good in the neck, you can be gazing down, forwards, or even at your right hand. One more breath here. And then inhale, we're going to windmill the arms back up into warrior two for a moment, and then take it into reverse, sun warrior, take the left palm to face up, reaching up towards the ceiling, right hand lightly touches the back leg. Sink into your front knee a bit more, feel strong in the back leg. Lovely. And then exhale, we're going to windmill the hands back down, framing the front foot, and step back into down dog. From here, ripple through the spine into plank, hold it for a moment, and then we're going to lower the knees down and tuck the toes. We're coming into other thread the needle, so reaching the right arm up, open the chest, exhale, thread the right arm through and under, bring the right ear down. So option this time round is you can add the leg into thread the needle and we can work into the core a little bit. Otherwise, just stay where you are, enjoying a nice stretch and breathing. So let's reach the left hand up to the top of the mat now if you haven't already. And then taking your left foot out to meet the right hand. Shoulders away from ears, both hands are pressing actively into the ground. Now if you want to add the core in, we're going to push into the left heel, firm up through the left leg, and maybe lifting up the left leg without rolling onto our backs. Taking 2 more breaths here. And then slowly with control, release your foot down. Draw it back into position so your left knee is back under your hips. And then let's unthread ourselves here. Go come back to tabletop, tuck the toes, lifting the hips back up for down dog. Okay, option here, adding a vinyasa, or you can stay in your down dog, just depends on what energy levels you have today. And then of course modifying your vinyasa to whatever suits you. Wonderful. When you've done whatever feels good in your body, then let's meet in down dog. We're going to come high onto tiptoes, bend the knees, step, jump up forwards to the top. Inhale, lift your hips, and exhale, forward fold. Let's inhale to rise up with the breath, come up nice and strong. And exhale, hands to heart. Good. Coming up onto the tiptoes again, so nice and strong in the legs. Squeeze the thighs, squeeze the calves, heels are high. And then slowly with control, bring the heels back down, leaning the weight back into the heels as we lift the toes. Gripping the ground with the balls of the feet, lifting up through the arches. And then settling the weight down, spreading the toes wide. Okay, tree pose, Vrikshasana, other side. Take the weight into the right foot this time, lift the left knee, draw the knee out to the side and find your version, so either at the ankle, the calf, or the inner thigh. Keeping the hands at the heart space. Notice how you're breathing, notice how you're holding your body, how's the standing leg doing? Are you locking out the knee? Maybe soften it out if you are. Good, a couple more breaths here. Stay with the breath, stay with your strength and focus. And then slowly releasing the left foot without touching it down, bring the knee to face forwards. And then we're stepping the left foot back into our high lunge. Palms stay together as we inhale to rise up. Soften the shoulders away from your ears. Get a nice stretch in the front of the left hip here, push into your back heel. And then with control, we're going to bend our back knee as we slowly lower it down with control. So not dropping it down, bringing it down nice and slowly. From here, sink the hips forwards. Keep pressing into both feet so we're not just dumping down. And then keeping your right hand lifted, we're going to reach the left arm forwards and then bring it down to the side. Turning your right palm to face out as we twist the chest to the right, coming into our low lunge with a twist. Good, taking one more breath here. And slowly bring the weight and the chest back to the center. We're going to reach the left arm up, bringing the palms to meet at the top again. Back the pelvis off, so we come back into this 90-90 angle of the legs. Tucking the back toe, power up through the back heel as we come back into high lunge. Good. Pivot to the left, open up for warrior two. Drop your back heel down, gazing over your right middle finger. Adjust the leg position if you need to. Check that you can see your right big toe. You might need to externally rotate the front leg, so that just means drawing it outwards, away from the big toe. Soften the shoulders. Good. Coming into extended angle pose. Let's reach forward now, taking our right elbow onto our thigh, lifting left arm up and over. So right palm is facing upwards. It shouldn't be weighing down too much into the thigh. It should be fairly light for a little bit of support. You can maybe test yourself here and just take the right elbow away for a moment. And then drawing the left shoulder back, opening up through the side body a bit more, the ribs, the chest. Good. On the next inhale, windmill through into warrior two, flipping the front palm and come into your sun warrior. Backhand lightly touches the back leg and open up through the right side of the body. Keep bending into the right knee. So there's a lot of tendency here to, as we lean back, people might straighten out their front knee. So keep pushing your right knee to the front of your mat. One more breath. Lovely, and then inhale, let's windmill the hands down, framing the front foot, step back into down dog. We're going to ripple through the spine, coming into plank pose. Shoulders away from ears, and then lower the knees down back to tabletop. Good, so thread the needle on the other side and we might add in the little leg lift if you want to. So let's inhale, lift the left arm up, open the chest. And exhale, threading left arm through, bringing your left ear down. Good, if you want to, reaching right arm up, taking the right foot out to the left arm this time. Pressing into both hands, firm up through the right leg, the thigh, the glute pushing into the heel, and then maybe you can lift up the right leg. Breathing here, or just in your average thread the needle if you You want to stay there today. 2 more breaths wherever you are. Slowly coming out with control, so bring the foot down first, then dragging it back into your tabletop, and then drawing the hands back into your tabletop, coming into box position. Let's tuck the toes, take the hips back, and up for our down dog. Option to stay in down dog, you can always drop down into your child's pose, or add in a vinyasa. Once you've taken your option of whatever you're doing, we'll all meet again in our down dog. We're going to come high onto the tiptoes again, bend the knees, take the gaze forward, step, jump or hop to the top of our mat. Inhale, lifting the hips, and exhale, fold. Inhale, rising up with the breath. And exhale, hands to heart. So this sequence, this round's going to be very similar structure, just slight different variations of the posture. So again, we're going to start with a balancing pose. So let's come high into our tiptoes, nice and strong in the legs. Really draw the navel in, feel the strength locked into the center of the body, and then slowly bring the heels down, leaning back. Maybe this time you can even pick up the balls of the feet slightly without losing your balance. And then slowly settle the feet back down, spread the toes wide. Take weight into the left foot. This time we're going to bring right knee in line with the hip. Okay, you can stay where you are, working on the balance here. Or if you want to, we're going to add a twist. So we're going to take the left hand to the outside edge of the right knee. Good. We're then going to slowly draw the right, twist to the right, so taking the chest over to the right. Maybe reaching the right arm behind us. To really test your balance here, maybe shifting the gaze all the way back behind you to your right thumb if you're reaching there. Keep drawing the shoulders away from the ears, keep lengthening up through the crown of your head. Drawing the tummy in. One more breath. Bring right hand back to heart if that's where you were at, and then slowly rotate back through, coming back to center. Bringing both hands back to heart. Stepping right foot back into high lunge. Inhale, let's reach up. Lovely. We're going to come back down into our low lunge, just slowly with control, dropping the back knee down really slowly, so nice strong legs. Bring the knee down gently to the earth, untuck the back toe, exhale, sinking the hips down. This time we're going to take the right hand down to the ground, a little bit away from our mat this time, and then exhale, we're taking the left hand down to our knee and gently pushing the knee away. So we've got an opening and a twisting in the chest, but we're creating a bit more space in the hips this time as well. Draw shoulders away from the ears, keep lengthening through spine and maybe deepening the twist by taking gaze over your left shoulder. If anyone wants a little bit more, you can begin to squeeze your back foot in towards your bum and maybe take the left hand to find your foot, but this is just like a final layer if you wish to add that in. Otherwise staying here is lovely. Good, let's bring ourselves back to center now. So bring the chest, the knee back to center. We're going to reach the arms back up. Back the pelvis off, so we're back in our 90-90 leg position. Tuck the back toe, rise back up into high lunge. Good, squeeze the glutes here. Draw the hands to heart. Exhale, we're going to twist to the left. Shoulders away from the ears. Good. You can either stay upright here, but if you want to take it deeper, you can lean the body forwards and we can hook our right elbow onto our left knee and pressing the palms together and then taking the gaze over the left shoulder. Keep pushing into the back heel. Keep your left knee stacked over your ankle. Drawing tummy in. One more breath. And then inhale to reach back up through to center. Good, let's exhale, open to the right for Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. And this time round, instead of extended angle and Sun Warrior, we're going to come into Trikonasana and reverse Trikonasana. So let's straighten the legs. If you want to here, if your stance has got a bit too wide, wiggle the back foot in slightly. Good. On the next inhale, we're going to reach as far as you can over your left leg and then hinge from the hips, pivot down. Bring the back of the left hand to the inside of left leg. Reaching the right arm up, stacking the shoulders if that feels okay. If not, you can take your right hand onto your hip. And then drawing right shoulder back so the chest is as open as possible and actively pressing down into both feet. Use the underside of your body to lift you up so you're not just sinking down. Good. Drawing the tummy in. Imagine someone's pulling you up. Come back up through center. Take it into reverse as you lean back and reach the left arm up. Relax the shoulders here. Take a breath or two, pressing down into both feet. And then exhale, let's windmill the hands down. Step back into down dog. Good. This time we're going to ripple through the spine. Come into plank. Instead of our thread the needle, we're going to come into side plank. So rocking yourself onto the right. As always, side plank, you can drop the lower knee down if you wish to. Otherwise, keeping the feet staggered or stacked. And we'll reach the left arm up. Good. So we're going to add a little twist here. So on the exhale, we're going to reach the left arm through. And inhale, open back up. Good. 2 more like this. Exhale to twist, reach through. Inhale, lift up. Last one. Inhale, lift up. Lovely. And then taking left hand down, pivot back into plank. Push back into down dog. Here is your opportunity to add in a vinyasa, a child's pose, or stay in your down dog. Do what feels good. Remember, it's your practice, no one else's. Wonderful. Once you've all done what you've felt you needed to or wanted to, let's meet in down dog. Come onto tiptoes, bend the knees, step, jump or hop to top. Inhale, lift your hips. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, rising up. And exhale, hands to heart. Good. So one more balance, and then once we finish the sequence, we'll be coming back to the ground. Okay, so let's inhale, rise up onto the tiptoes, the balls of the feet, lifting the heels, squeezing the legs, draw tummy in, lengthen up through the crown of the head. Slowly bring your heels back down, leaning back, maybe seeing if you can lift the balls of the feet this time. And taking the weight even into the feet now, spreading the toes wide. And we're taking the weight into the right foot as we lift the left knee. Feel the standing leg nice and strong, so switch your glutes on. This will help you lift out of the hip and lower back. If you're adding a twist here, we're going to take right hand to the outside of your left knee. Keeping your left hand in the centre of your heart for now. On your next exhale, let's begin to twist to the left if you're adding that in. Keep lengthening up through the crown of the head. And then if you want to, reaching the left arm all the way back behind you, opening the chest. And challenging your balance even more, shifting the gaze to the left thumb. Draw the chin in slightly, lengthen up through spine. 2 more breaths wherever you are. Notice how you're breathing. And then if you're reached all the way back behind, let's bring the hand back to heart first. Slowly rotate back through center, bring both hands together at heart. And then step the left foot back, not the left hand. Let's inhale, reach up. High lunge, good. As we exhale here, slowly bringing the back heel down, right knee down. Coming into our 90-90 leg lunge. Sinking into the legs. And then releasing the left hand down, away, off the mat a little. And then your right hand is going to come to your right knee, gently pushing the knee away. So we allow our hips to sink down, but we keep the chest lifted, and then maybe taking the gaze over your right shoulder. Take a few breaths here. Notice if you're holding any unnecessary tension anywhere. And then if you want a bit more in the legs, then drawing your left foot towards you. And then if you can hold it here, then maybe reach back and grab your foot. Good, one more breath. Draw the knee and the chest back through to center now. Bringing the arms together, reaching up. Back in the pelvis off. Tuck in the back toe under, tuck the pelvis under, and then power up through the legs, coming back into high lunge. Bring the hands to heart, relax the shoulders, elbows out wide. Good, we're going to add the twist in our high lunge now, so twist into the right. Either keeping high in the body, or if you want to, leaning forward so you can find your left elbow on your right knee. And then pressing the palms together so we can anchor a bit more of a deeper twist in the upper back and lengthen through the spine. Push into the back heel, maybe gaze over your right shoulder. Sometimes I get confused with left and right, at the best of times anyway. In particular when I'm twisting, I need to think a little bit harder. One more breath here. And then let's inhale, untwist, reaching the arms up. And then exhale, pivot to the left as we open up into warrior two. Sink into the legs, relax the shoulders, reach through the fingertips. Good, and then we've got our Trikonasana, so straighten the legs now. Think about the legs pushing down, but also trying to draw the energy together at the center of the mat. And then exhale, reach over the front leg, hinge from the hips, and bring in the back of the right hand to the inside of the right leg. Drawing the tummy in, draw the left shoulder back. If your shoulders don't feel too terribly good today, we're in Trikonasana now. We can take the left hand onto our left hip. Good. Breathing nice and slowly. The weight should be even in both feet, so it's not just the front leg doing all the work. Okay. Let's power up through, so draw the tummy in, use your core strength, come back through to center, take your Trikonasana into reverse as you reach your right hand up. Left hand lightly touches your back leg, we're not gripping onto anything here. Good, we've nearly finished. Let's exhale, windmill both hands down, bend the front knee, bringing them down to frame the front foot and step back into down dog. From down dog, ripple through the spine into plank. Good, and then we're coming into side plank, so rocking onto your left side. Remember, your left knee, your lower leg can come down. Your feet can be stacked on top of each other, so that's probably the hardest version, or you can stagger them, which is like the middle version. So whatever you feel up to today. Reaching your right arm up, open the chest, keep lifting hips. And then add in a twist here. So let's exhale, reach the right arm underneath left. Inhale, open up. We've got two more. Exhale, twist and reach. Inhale, lift up. Last one, exhale. And inhale, reach and hold for a moment. And then taking your right hand down, pivot yourself back into plank. And then we're going to drop the knees wide. Bring the big toes together, sit the hips down, coming into child's pose. You all deserve it. Bring the forehead down. Taking a nice few deep settling breaths here. One more breath. And then from here, walking the hands back towards you. Coming to sit onto the back of the heels. And then we're just going to swing the legs around. So bring the weight into one side of your hip. So you can swing the legs around, coming into seated. Staff pose, Dandasana. Good. From here, I'll just come to face you. We're going to bend the knees and we're going to bring the feet about hip width apart. And we're going to bring the hands to the heart. So we're using our core to keep the body upright, relax the shoulders. And with control, we're going to drop the knees over to one side, so maybe to the right first, but keeping the body really lifting up. So you're really using your obliques, core lifting up nice and strong. Back to center and over to left. Good. One more either side, back to center, over to the right. Really try to control the movement. Nice and tall in the spine still, back to center and over to left. Good. Coming back to the right. So back to center, over to the right, and then we're just going to adjust the leg position slightly. So we probably want to draw the left foot behind us. We want the left knee on the right foot, so we've got like a zigzag position of the legs. Yeah, just figuring out which way we're going. And then we're going to add a twist in here. So let's take our left hand to right knee. Sit nice and tall, and then exhale, we're going to take the right arm behind us and take it behind our back and maybe bring the fingertips onto the left thigh. We're going to inhale, sit tall. Exhale, draw the tummy in, maybe see if we can twist a bit deeper. And then maybe taking the gaze over the shoulder. You know what, I just forgot, I promised you more lion breaths. And we haven't done any. You did one at least. One more breath. Good, and then unraveling and twisting. We're then going to take our fingertips just in front of our right shin. So it depends, you might be on a funny angle on your mat, but don't worry, you don't need to stay on your mat for this. We're going to inhale, sit tall, think about grounding down through the sit bones, and then exhale, walking the hands away. So we're going to fold over our legs. Just notice how everything's feeling. You don't need to come deep, you just need to find a comfortable stretch for you. Maybe in the hips, maybe in the lower back. Could be anywhere really though, because we all feel things differently. Just be aware of how you're holding yourself in the shoulders. Can you soften the shoulders? Make sure you're not dumping the head and the chest down. Good, 2 more breaths here. And then slowly walking yourself back up. Maybe just take the right foot away from you slightly and bring the left foot a little bit forwards again. So if you wiggled the feet, just try and remember where they were before. Draw the tummy in, sit nice and tall, bring the hands to heart. And then rock the knees back to center, and then with control, take them over to the other side. So again, we're sitting up nice and tall, adjust the position. You might want to bring right foot behind you, left foot onto right knee. Sitting nice and tall, right hand's coming onto left knee, anchoring here, and then exhale, allowing your left arm to wrap around you and tuck it into the top of your right thigh. Inhale, sit tall, exhale, twist a bit deeper. Just keep a sense of grounding down through the legs. So what part of the legs feel in contact with the earth, and can you increase that? Can you feel more secure in the seat? Notice how the shoulder's feeling, how the neck's feeling. If it's okay, take the gaze to your left shoulder or over left shoulder. One more breath. Lovely, and then slowly untwist, slowly unravel. Come back through to center, and we're going to take the fingertips to frame our left shin now. We're going to sit nice and tall, ground down through the sit bones, and then walking the hands away nice and gently, coming into a little bit of a fold. So again, you don't need to come all the way down, but if it does feel appropriate, you can come down onto your forearms. But what tends to happen if we come too low, our hips lift up, and then we don't feel that anchoring down sensation. Taking a few deep belly breaths, calming the nervous system down, regulating after we've upregulated. So we can find that balanced status quo of energy to take us through the rest of our day. Good. One more breath. And then slowly walking your hands back up towards you, sitting nice and tall. Draw the tummy in again so we can rock the knees back through to centre. And then we may have drifted a bit off our mat, and that's fine. Let's just shimmy ourselves back onto our mat wherever we've ended up, bringing ourselves to the top of the mat. We're going to come down onto our backs now. So reaching the arms forward, drawing the tummy in. Let's come down nice and slowly. Good. Once you've met the earth, let's draw our knees into the chest, give ourselves a hug, reset the back, relax the shoulders, maybe tuck the chin in. And then we're going to set the feet down, mat width apart. We're going to take the arms out shoulder height to begin with, but we're going to add an option to come into cat's tail if you wish to in our spinal twist today, which I'll talk you through in a moment. So feet mat width apart, they stay on the ground, and then we're going to drop the knees over to the right. If it feels comfortable in the neck, taking the gaze over to the left, so in the opposite direction of the knees. Taking a few deep belly breaths here. Soften the face, soften the jaw. If you want to, close the eyes. So cat stretch is a little bit of a variation of our spinal twist, but it stretches into our quads as well. We can use our left hand to find our left foot. And then we bring the right foot onto our left knee. So just a little bit like our zigzag legs that we've just done. And then our right hand can come on towards our right knee. Relax the shoulders down, allow the pelvis to relax, allow the tummy to be soft. So it actually brings us out of a strong spinal twist, but it's still twisting the spine a bit, and it's opening up through the hips and the quads. So I think we've done enough twists today, so don't worry, don't feel like you're missing out on a good spinal twist to finish. Can you release a little bit more? Become a bit more soft in the body. One more deep breath. And slowly bring the arms back up to shoulder height. Bringing the gaze back to center first. And then bring the knees back to center. Lovely. Just take a moment to settle into the back, find evenness and balance here first. And then when you're ready, dropping the knees into the opposite side, taking gaze over to the opposite direction if that feels good. So knees to the left, gaze to the right. And then if you want to add in the cat stretch here, we're going to take our right hand to find our right toes, and then bring the left foot to our right knee. And then the left hand to our left knee. So the left hand's not holding it, it's not on top, it's just underneath the knee, just touching. It's not doing anything, it's not working for us. Resting, and then closing the eyes once again. Tune back into your breathing, tune back into what's going on in your body. Can you relax the collarbones, the pelvis, the knees? Relax the muscles around the eyes. Good, and then let's inhale, slowly bring the head back to center. Slowly bring your knees back to center. And pick up the hips for a moment, reset it back down, hug your knees into the chest. Maybe making yourself a little intention here. Giving yourself a little promise for the rest of the day. Taking a piece of this practice with you, maybe that's the focus that you've put in. Maybe that's the hard work that you've put in. Maybe that's the clarity of the mind that you've created. So taking a drop of the practice away with you into the rest of the day. When you're ready, let's roll onto our side. Take a moment to pause, signal to the body that our practice has come to an end. Not forgetting to say thank you to your body here. And when you're ready, pushing yourselves back up to seated, bringing yourself up into any seated position, bringing the hands to the heart, keeping the eyes closed for a moment, relax the shoulders. And we'll finish with a deep breath together here. So let's take a deep inhale into the heart space, allowing it to push into the thumbs. And as you exhale, allowing the thumbs to push back into the heart. Wonderful. Thank you very much for sharing your practice with me, taking the time and effort. It's a pleasure and honor as always. Namaste.